Well, it all started when I was a kid. Big sexy basketball. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. This is another story time. In this story time, we're gonna reminisce. We're gonna reminisce about the first time I went to jail. It all started when I moved out my mommy's house. So look, I was like 17, and around this time, a lot of you know that I had a little sister. My mom gave birth to my little sister. This is some key factors. So my mom gave birth to my little sister when I was 15. So 2 years later, I realized, you know, it's too many kids in this house. 4 kids. Somebody gotta go. And obviously, it won't gonna be the twins, and it won't gonna be the baby, so it had to be me. But not like that. So anyway, I was just thinking, like, man, I always at my grandma's house. Might as well let my mom have my room for my little sister. So I was like, yo, can I move out? Like, I'm 17 or whatever. Can I move out? And then she's like, you can go, like, once you finish school. Because mind you, when I'm 17, I was a senior when I was 17. Okay, my birthday was in April. Basically, the end of the school year is in freaking April, if you want to be quite frank about it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So April hits, turn 18, move out, start living with my grandma. Was in college, and everything was going good. Now, the problem is, growing up, I didn't feel like I got to be a teenager and do the things I want to do. So in my head, I'm like, I'm 18, I'm grown. That's why I kept saying, I'm grown. Yeah, I'm grown. I said, I'm gonna do what I want. I got a job, I'm going to college, got a car. I ain't gotta listen to nobody. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Bruh. I decided to get into my first ever real, hold on. I decided to get into my first ever real relationship, bro. My first ever. And this is when I realized maybe men are the demise of a woman. I don't know. Of a young woman. Let me just get to it, okay? So, 18, moved out, living with my grandma. My grandma like works night shifts, so I will always be at the crib by myself, wherever. And I was working at this little stupid job, Burger King, and I don't know, I just quit because I found another job, and it's called Vector. Now with Vector, you was selling shanks, aka knives, kitchen knives to be exact. But these knives are different. They had a pair of scissors that could cut a penny. So anyway, I'm working for them. They was like, yeah, you gotta do practice sales pitch, like talking to people well. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't really talk to nobody in school, so like this would be great for me to like meet people and talk to them. I was wrong. But I didn't know this. So, you know, the first couple appointments with people that I had in my neighborhood went well. People bought some stuff. Obviously, you know, I'm the neighborhood hero. Not to toot my own horn. But I hit up a person that was interested. I was like, all right. I knew they was interested in me, but I didn't think they was gonna be interested after school. Because in high school, this man was so weird. Let me tell you about this man. I'm gonna call him Peanut Butter. Peanut Butter was so fucking weird, bro. Peanut Butter, the reason why I avoided Peanut Butter in high school, and pretty much guys in general, is because freshman year I just had a really bad like run with guys. I had a really bad run. I dated one person, I was just like, it's not it. So anyway, Peanut Butter used to like try to pursue me, try to talk to me. And eventually one day my friend at home, she was like, just give me your kick. Y'all remember kick. I gave him my kick. And we talked on there. He did something. He sent me a glizzy picture, and I was like, I avoided him ever since then. I can count like my hand like 2 people I've already dated in school. 2. Seriously, like long term. Anyway, he liked me, but I never gave him the time of day in like school. But when we got out of school, I was like, shoot, I might as well give him a chance because he's a nice guy, and you know, when we hang out, there's never no problems. So I ended up linking up with him outside of school. Like after I graduated, I'm like 18 at this point. I'm living with my grandma. I have my own job, my own car and stuff like that. So I'm like, we should hang out. This is like November, October. November we started talking. October we was like kind of locked in. So I'm like, all right, you know, I'm gonna come link with you on Halloween and stuff like that. So we started hanging out, whatever, you know. One thing less than another, we got all. When I say peanut butter, it's a different breed. Peanut butter, different breed. I only knew one side of peanut butter. He never told me he was involved with the law. He had problems with the law. He didn't tell me he was official in the trenches. He never told me these things. I had to find out as we went. Let me break some things down for y'all. When you really like somebody, when you really rock with them, and it's already said and done, like you really establish that bond, it's really like you can see them doing no wrong. You know? And I saw him doing no wrong. So one day, it was me, him, and his homeboy. And I'm gonna call him Stick Man. Peanut butter and Stick Man. Now Stick Man, me and him already knew each other because in high school, me and him was ISD buddies, meaning we was always the first two people to be in detention together. In school detention, in school suspension, we was the first two people, like automatically we was already on the roll call for that. Like whenever we walk in, they be like, oh, so-and-so here, Stick Man here, yes, yeah. They literally didn't even care about like having us enrolled to our regular class. We basically took our classes in there. So we was like the Three Musketeers. Like you did not see one without the other two behind. Like we was buddies, bro. Buddies to the point where we low-key became a gang. So one day we in the room talking or whatever, and Stick Me and the Peanut Butter like, yeah, remember when we used to hit them stains? We used to have the neighborhood on lock, like on lock. I'm like, stains? What you talking about? Now around this time, I'm gonna give y'all a little backstory. When I met my ex Peanut Butter, me really started off as like good kid. Like I was a good kid. I'm not saying I never turned into a bad kid, but I'm gonna say I strayed from a path that I know wasn't chosen for me. So what I mean by that is like Peanut Butter had access, him and Stick Man had access to things that normal people couldn't get access to or whatever. So meaning Zans. Like a lot of people couldn't get Zans without the prescription, but apparently they had them. So I was doing Zans with them. So I'm not gonna say that I impaired my judgment, but I'm gonna say that and just not being young and not caring, like I'm not gonna say not caring, but just like being loyal, it played a lot to that. So anyway, we used to pop Zans and like chill and like do everything together, literally. I'm talking about, it was one time all three of us was outside cutting the grass together. Yeah, the Three Musketeers. Yeah, go ahead, give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. I was one of the guys, one of the gang. Give it up, give it up. So anyway, they was talking, they was like, remember how we used to have the stains, you know, we used to have the neighborhood on lock, you know, it used to be so-and-so and so-and-so, like we used to run this. Like we the reason why we got the neighborhood lock. I'm like, neighborhood what? Nah, I don't see no signs posted up. I don't think I really got one, but they do. If I can log on to the neighborhood site, I'm gonna see if they still got the photos of like, they didn't have pictures of our faces, but we on the front page. We on the front page, just know that. So I was like, yeah, we said this neighborhood one. I'm like, what you mean by stains? Like, how y'all had a neighborhood lock? Like, what you mean? They was like, well, we used to have the police patrolling through here, like back in high school. Remember when you like, it was like one year I didn't see these two for like a whole year. So I'm like, yo, like what happened to them? Like, I don't got my ISD buddy. I don't got the little Peanut Butter on my line, like, cause I'm talking about I was used to seeing them every day. Like I used to see Stick Man and ISD And in between, you know, before I go to ISD, I used to go to my lockers. And you know, for lunch, you had to go back into, like, ISD was in trailers, but for lunch, we had to go inside the building. It was like a big cafeteria. So I wasn't seeing them in between those transitions, because usually it'd be in locations that I can see them, because for some odd reason, I feel like it was meant that we all interact with each other and, like, basically creating that bond. Like, I swear, I think it was meant to be. So I wasn't seeing them. So they was like, remember that year that you didn't see us? That was like, we was in and out of trouble. We was in juvie and stuff like that because we was hitting things in the neighborhood. I'm like, dang. They was like, yeah, but it's been a minute since we hit them. And you know, nobody trying to hire us because we got like felonies already. I'm like, how the fuck? We just turned 18, nigga. How the fuck? Yeah. Hey, yo, when I say I was green to the law, like, I was green. I just knew when you see police, you run. Even if you're innocent, you just get the hell away from them. Don't be around them. So he was talking about the stains, and then here goes Stickman. Yeah, y'all like Bonnie and Clyde, like, for real, like, you know, because I was holding it down. Like, when those two was locked up, I was working, and I was putting money on their books. Like, I was looking out for them, because my dogs, like, when I got out of high school, I literally would be hanging out with them. We would all be in peanut butter room, chilling. Like, his dad was never home. We basically had a crib to ourselves. I think that's where things went left. But anyway, he was like, yeah, y'all can be like the Bonnie and Clyde, like, you tell her about the stains. So Stickman over here, like, really, like, pressing Peanut Butter to tell me about it. So Peanut Butter was like, yeah, me and him been talking, we been thinking about going back to doing stains. I'm like, stains, what's that? He was like, you know, like, we go around hitting licks. I'm like, I want to do it, like, I want to try it. Why my dumb ass say that? I feel like if I never met him, I would have a clean record, but it was meant to be for me to experience life and tell y'all the dumb shit that I did. So he was like, all right, bet. You know, bet. You know, chill out, have fun during the day. Now, y'all, my first time hitting stains was lit. I was addicted. Now, the first night, it was me, him, he was like, yeah, we're all black, and you can't talk about nothing. You can't say that you did this with us. I'm like, nigga, why would I say that? You know how girls be. No, I don't, because I hang with y'all niggas. I never hung with nobody in school. He like, oh, right, like, literally, I kept a small fucking circle. I did not interact with people like that. I did not have the patience nor the time, and also because, like, I'm not saying my home life was rocky, but, like, I had responsibilities back home. I had to go to school. And also, like, in high school, I was, like, battling the depression on and off. I didn't have a reason to be depressed. It's just, like, I don't know, I was just sad. Like, I was going through things. Like, I feel like because of the puberty and all the hormones and stuff, I think that's why. But anyway, we hit stains. But before we hit that stain, we was, like, spent the whole day turning up, partying. I'm talking about we was popping Zans. We was drinking. Mind you, we're 18. Like, bro, I wasn't even fully developed. No, I was fully developed. I was built like a grown woman, brick house style. But we drinking Papa Sands. I'm talking about, I'm lightweight. I took like 3 Sands and I'm drinking with it. I'm on my body. So late on the night, he pull out clothes. He like, yo, you gotta wear all black. So we meet up and we terrorized that neighborhood that night. Terrorized it. I'm talking about, we was hitting it back to back, back to back. Every house, like every shed, every car. People was leaving phones, jacket, North Faces, Hollister, bracelets, wallets, iPods, Beats. I'm talking about shit that should be in the house. I'm talking about I came up with tablets, hella shit. And we would take the stuff and resell it or whatever. But anyway, we hit the first couple stands. It was going good, going right or whatever. But one day we ventured out to an area that really wasn't our area. We never hung out with there. We didn't know no people out there. Like, you get what I'm saying? We didn't really know about the neighborhood like we knew about our hood. Now, the hood we went to was like a little like 15 minutes outside of like Arrested or whatever. Literally 15 minutes outside of Arrested. So we hit a stain over there. And everything went smooth except for one point. We almost got caught by the police. Now, let me tell you what Stickman did. He's the reason why. Stickman is, I told you, we off the Zannies, alright? And me and Peanut Butter, we over here like going through the shed. We coming off of crazy stuff like headphones, like speakers, gears. We putting in our backpack. We going back and forth to my car, putting the shit in there, coming back. And Next thing you know, we hear, woo, 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 woo. Alarm goes off. So I'm like, what the hell? Peanut butter right beside me, so it gotta be stick man. Next thing you know, we hear bullets. I'm like, oh hell no. So I'm trying to get the hell out of Dodge. We run like 2 streets over. We still inside the same neighborhood. Now the neighborhood in my back home, like the neighborhood be baby. We should have scoped the area. We ain't know nothing about the area. But it's a big neighborhood. So we like run over 2 streets, backpack full of stuff, jingling, jingle. All you hear is and like, bro, if I could show y'all, hold on, I'm about to show y'all how I was running. I'm over here ducking, dodging. I'm hitting James Bond moves. I'm over here ducking, bobbing and weaving. We get to this 1 yard, and I hear an engine. Now we all ran together. I went to go find Stickman. We found Stickman. He was over beside the car. It's going off. I'm like, where's the car going off? We need to go. Like, anyway, we run 2 streets over, right? And we hear an engine, but we don't see no lights, but we can hear a car driving down the street. So we heard, I ducked into the ditch. I'm small. So, you know them deep ass dishes, but if you having like grass growing, bro, stop and roll. Stop and roll. I literally stopped, dropped, and rolled into the ditch, right? Let the grass cover me. Car rolls past. It's like this. I'm in the ditch. This is me in the ditch. This is the car. Rolls past, no headlights on. When I look at it, I'm like looking, peeping through the, bro, it's 12. It's fucking 12, bro. It is the po-po, the arresters, the defenders of the earth, bro. I'm texting this. I'm like, yo, it's the police. So I let the police hit all the way down the street so I can't see like the brake lights no more. So they pop out, they hide in spaces, like on the side of somebody's house because they didn't have like floodlights on it. Thank God. Thank God. So the police drove past, right? We all, like, I go to the side of the house, I'm talking, I'm like, yo, we gotta get the hell out of here. Like, luckily I dropped the pin on my location on my map of where my car was at. Now I think phones are tapped in general, and like back where I'm from, I think they be tapping your phone. Like the police, I feel like they tap the phones in the neighborhood when they feel like suspicious activity going on. Cause let me tell you what happened. So all of a sudden we sitting there talking, right? When the floodlights pop on, mind you, I told you that the floodlight don't work, but it pops on mysterious. So we haul ass across the street. We duck, like we jump a fence, and we on the next street over. Now the next street over, guess who we saw? Mr. Police. So police turn their floodlight, they're like, come on, put your hands up. But he ain't hop out the car. I'm like, nah, if he could see us, he would get up. Now mind you, I'm hiding. Hey yo, when y'all see this, y'all about to be weak. Now, pretend this is like a garden wall in a tree. Now this is the garden wall behind me. Imagine it covered in leaves. I'm dressed in all black. Imagine this, the tree was literally, if not this thin, maybe a little bit bigger. Imagine me like this. Waiting for the police shining light. And the light was hitting on me. I'm like, can this nigga not see me? Or he's just waiting for backup. So the police waited there for a moment. And all of a sudden my phone went off, but luckily it was on vibrate. It went off, it was like, are you trying to share your location? I'm like, why was my phone trying to share? So I think the police tried to tap my phone. So anyway, I ain't moved, but Peanut Butter, my man, supposed man, my Bonnie, my Clyde, him and Stickman was, I look over to where I thought they had hid at. These niggas was over the fence hiding. Like over the fence. The fence was covered in like leaves and stuff, so you couldn't really see them. You had to walk in the people's backyard to actually see them. But if the police got in his car and walked up the driveway, he would definitely see me. But for some reason he didn't get out the car, he didn't see us, he just kept driving. I was like, yo, it's over with. It's over with, like it's over with, it's wrapped. So I'm walking to the backyard, I'm whispering their name. I'm like, yo, Peanut Butter, Steak Man, y'all bitches in. stick man. I'm mad, and I pull up in my backpack. I had a backpack with me. I pull up the I had a fifth of Henny. I'm 18, fifth of Henny, pop, bro. Living my best life. I took a sweet Henny. I'm like, yo, these niggas left me. I was like, I got the car key. Oh, they think this. Oh, alright. They think this shit sweet. They gonna leave me. Got something for them. About to pull off. As soon as I started mumbling that shit, I hear the fences round. I'm like, what the hell? I'm scared. I'm like, the police that came around the other side and got me. It won't that. It won't that. It was him. Him and Stick Man. I'm like, yo, y'all left me? They was like, no, we wouldn't do that, but one go down, we all go down. I'm like, yo, you was definitely going down because if I had got caught, I had the keys, nigga. Who was gonna get away? We was all gone. I was like, and plus I told y'all the coast was clear. Why was y'all still quiet? I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna snitch on nobody. I'm solid, nigga. I'm solid. That's what I kept saying. Like, I'm solid. So anyway, we made it through that night and we drove back home. Now, Stickman ended up staying with us. He slept on the floor or whatever, and me and Peanut Butter was in the bed. And mind you, like, the house big. House big. His parents' house was big. Like, we was chilling. We was really living our own lives. His dad was never home. So next day come and we woke up like I was still feeling the Zans. I wasn't even drunk. Like, Zans is like pill form and getting drunk. I don't care what nobody's saying. But anyway, we woke up the next day and I had like all these missed calls from like weird numbers. I'm thinking like it's from jobs that had applied. So I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and answer these, get myself right. So surprisingly, one of them left me a voicemail. I don't know if detectives are stupid, but I think they're stupid as hell. So I answered, I listened to the voicemail and was like, this is Detective Richards with so-and-so police department. Give me a call back at your earliest convenience. I'm like, yo, I know I ain't never called nobody off the police. And as long as I had this phone number, ain't no police ever, no. So I'm like, bro, I think they on us. And he was like, nah. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we kept hitting licks or whatever. Kept hitting licks. Now, mind you, the detective call, right? Couple days, like, let me just get back to the detective call. Detective call, I told him, like, I ain't answer or whatever. But they called again and I answered. I picked up and it was a detective. He was like, this is so-and-so. And I just hung up. I'm like, who the fuck? You should already know. If you announce that you're a detective, regardless of whether someone innocent or guilty, they not going to answer the phone. I don't know what special victim unit episode he was watching as to where he would think that, but I don't know. So anyway, I was like, I think they on to us or whatever. He Peanut Butter was like, nah, ain't no way, like it's been so much time. And then I was like, they was like, if that was the case, they would have came and got us. And now I'm like, but nah, we've been hitting licks all over the city, like it's bound to get caught, you know, you feel me? So anyway, he was adamant that that wasn't the case. So I go like 2 days later, 3 days later, because I was like, literally, I just did what I wanted. I was staying with that man. So 3 days later or whatever, we was still hitting stains every night or whatever. But 3 days later, I'm at home because I had, you know, I went home, do laundry, whatever, get dressed, you know, get my hair done, and I hear, I'm like, who the fuck is at my door knocking like that? Don't nobody knock on my door like that. Anyone that knocks on my door, they like, or they do a beat. Like everybody does a beat on my door. No one knocks like that. Nobody, no family, no friends. Everybody, I tell them, knock with a rhythm. Bro, it's Detective Richards. And he's like, I just want to know who's the owner of the Toyota Camry. I'm like, my grandfather. Now, mind you, I didn't know my grandpa snitch ass already. I'm not gonna call my grandpa snitch. But I didn't know they had already linked the tags to my car, to my grandpa, because that's where I got my car from. But anyway, I don't know if they talked to him or not, or whatever. I feel like they did. He was like, nah, the car from my granddaughter, because how else would they give my grandmother's address? So anyway, so I'm like, nah, I don't know nothing. I was here, and I was like, when my grandma was like, yeah, she was here. Y'all know how I said my grandma worked night shift. My grandma didn't know if I was there or not. I just made sure I showed my face during the daytime when she got off work. Like literally like 30 minutes before she got off work, I was at home. I showed my face and I would literally be like, all right, I'm going over to Peanut Butter house. She's like, okay. So literally she thinks I'm at home at night. I'm so thankful to this day. So the detective was like, all right, I'm gonna give you my card or whatever. But he was like, do you know Peanut Butter Jones and Stickman Alley Cat? I'm like, oh, he said his nigga's real name. But I ain't like making no face. I'm like, no. And he was like, okay. But it says here you went to school with them. I'm like, well, the area is pretty local, so we're in the same school district, so yeah. I'm like, he was like, okay. And y'all don't keep in contact? I'm like, well, like, I sold their parents some shanks. Not shanks, but I said knives. And he was like, okay, all right. And he left. Left it at that. So later on that night, my dude and his homeboy hit a lick without me. I'm gonna tell y'all why. So I wasn't feeling good. At all, and my period was missing, and I didn't know what was going on. So I'm young, like I'm thinking I can't get pregnant, like I'm on birth control or whatever. But anyway, I just decided to stay back. He was like, stay back just in case you are or whatever. Everyone wanted to happen to you. This and third. So these niggas went to go hit a lick. Mind you, I still had some of the stolen things at my grandmother's house. So they get in trouble or whatever, and I literally, they said they don't know what they're being held for. Police just came and picked them up, whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just come to the jail and I'm gonna see what's going on. So when I get to the jail, instead of them directing me to visitation like they normally do, they directed me to the building where they do questioning. So I'm like, is everything okay? They was like, yeah, we just have a few questions. And then they was like, so how do you know XYZ? I'm like, look, real talk, I'm the girlfriend of Peanut Butter or whatever, and that Stickman's like my brother, whatever. They called me, they wanted me to see what's going on with the bond and whatever, like what's up, what's going on. They was like, we just got a few questions. I just started crying. They was like, was you here so and so? I'm like, no, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing about it. Your boyfriend, yeah, and I convinced my boyfriend's mom to lie and give an alibi to the police. So he ended up getting a PR bond. But his homeboy didn't, because this dumbass nigga had some of the stolen merch on him when the police came in the house to question them. Which is stupid. Why are you wearing one of this? Literally, the nigga answered the door wearing one of the stolen items. So anyway, I was like, bro, this is stupid shit. So we left at that. He didn't get no bond. So we was like, dang, we gotta get some bond money. His parents was like, they gonna leave him in there to rot, and if he don't get out in a certain amount of time, they was gonna throw his stuff out and make him be homeless. So I'm like, dang, that's our home, but we can't let him be homeless or whatever. And I was like, it's bad enough you sneaking me in. You ain't gonna be able to sneak that nigga in, because at least you can hide me in areas. You can't even hide him because y'all both big as hell. I'm gonna tell y'all about the hiding too. Where I used to hide it. This shit crazy. But anyway, me and my dude, Peanut Butter, I had waited for him to get out of jail or whatever. Like I bargained him out. It was only like $5,000 fine. So he paid 10% of that, $500. All right, cool. Paid the $500. And he gets out and he was like, yo, we gotta get Stickman out, because I don't know if that nigga gonna fold or not. If I buy him out, that nigga better get gone, get ghost for a couple months until they just decide not to pick up the case or whatever. So anyway, he was like, all right, we're gonna have to hit a couple stays tonight. Now mind you, he was like, I really don't want you to hit any with me, but like, we don't know if you got a baby or not in there, you know? Mind you, my period is late, because if you do Xanax, any kind of drugs, and like not eating, basically I was doing drugs and not drugs, but I was doing Xannies, and you know how you hide, you be eating, and a lot of people, you see old Xanax videos of other people, they'll be like eating and they'll stop and like forget they was eating, they'll wake up the next day. Basically I was falling asleep, losing track of what I ate or not. So I was basically affects your period. If you don't eat as much as you should, your body will not have its regular period. So anyway, wasn't pregnant, just throw that out there for y'all. But that's another story that's about to come. But anyway, he was like, yeah, we're gonna hit the stand. I'm like, all right, we're gonna hit the stand. So he was like, I'm gonna get you to wait here for a little bit. So it's like, I was at his house in his bed waiting. He was like, all right, and he was gone for like 3 hours. Man, he left at like 12 at night. He was gone at 3 in the morning. He came back, he was like, all right, let's go. I'm like, what? And then he was like, let's go. He was like, I got a whip. I'm like, you got a whip? How you get a whip? He was like, I just got a whip. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So we get in the car, we driving, and we go. He was like, we're gonna go to this area. I'm like, oh shit, that's near the crib. I was like, if anything pop off, we can just dump this junk randomly and like run. Like, we athletic to the point where like niggas dead ass track stars. Like, I didn't mind running, and I knew the area so good. Like, I knew the woods like the back of my hand. I used to hang out in the woods all the time. So he was like, all right, bet. So we cruising around, and we see this car following us. So we turn in where the school at, not like our school, but like a big elementary school. We turn in over there, and the dude was like, is there a problem or something like that? And then the guy points a shotgun at the window. He was like, this is the police. And we like, what the hell? You ain't got no shit on your thing. So we hurry up. He like spin the jump. And when he spun the jump, he ain't like throw that jump in reverse. He just put that jump in drive and then spun and hit the ditch, bro. We hit the ditch, popped out the ditch, kept driving, but the car started making like this. The truck started making this weird sound, but we were still driving. Now the front axle and the back axle of the truck was messed up. That's why we couldn't drive anymore. That's why I was making that weird noise. So I decided to make a run for it for the woods or whatever. Now, I told him to stick with me, but he ain't stick with me. He did not stick with me. So I'm running through the woods, and I'm on the phone with this nigga mama. I'm like, hey, yo, look, we might go to jail, okay? And she's like, what? I can't even hear. I'm like, hold on, stop, put the phone in my pocket. Hey, bro, would you believe me if I said I climbed the tree? Because look, police don't look up. If we being honest, if we being frank, if you're running from the police and you decide to climb a fucking tree, if you all the way ahead of them, they're not gonna look up. They're not gonna notice this. They're not gonna know. They're not gonna look up. They're gonna keep their eyes on the prize, straight forward. Now, boyfriend got apprehended. He got apprehended. He got tagged into some thorn bushes. Me, I climbed the tree. But that tree won't stable. It had a branch, and the branch looked like it was sturdy. Man, when I got up on that branch, that branch snapped, and I fell on top of my head into a bush. Shoe got knocked off, everything. The police was like, I think we got the second suspect. And it came, bro, this nigga dragged me by my ankle out the damn bushes, out the woods, to this lady's front yard. This lady on her porch watching me get dragged by my foot. I had the wind knocked out I saw Jesus. I got the wind knocked out my damn chest, falling at the tree. And my boyfriend at the time, he's sitting on the ground. He looking at me like, what the hell she come? He looking at the tree, at the top of the tree. Then he looking at me. Then he looking at the ground. I'm like, yo, can I get my shoe? Police officer was like, I wouldn't be worried about that. I was like, yo, please go get my shoe. It's winter right now. I need my shoe. So he get my shoe. I put it on. He was like, what you guys doing? I was like, I'm not answering no question. They were like, are you inebriated? Mind you, I'm drunker than a damn skunk. Yeah, I was irresponsible when I was younger. Cause I was like, I knew it deep down inside. It ain't no way I was gonna, you know how I said I thought I was pregnant because I missed my period. I was like, I know it ain't no fucking way I'm pregnant. I'm gonna keep doing my own thing. So I was drinking, and they found the Hennessy bottle in the vehicle, and they was like, this is stolen vehicle. How did you get it? And I won't answer nothing. And my dude was looking at me, and I'm looking at him like, I don't know, you could. I won't shit, bro. I was just like, but they had to sit beside each other. I leaned beside him. I was like, you better not say a motherfucking thing. You better not. We didn't say each other's names. She was like, babe. That's how we communicate the whole time they had us in custody. So they ended up putting us in the cop car. And I told you I had the phone in my back pocket, and all I heard was hello. And I put the phone in my pocket. I'm like, yeah, you might have to find us out. We're not getting out tonight. I don't know about this. So they ended up taking us to jail. Bro. I'm in intake. I'm calling everybody. This happened on a Friday. I'm calling everybody. I'm like, yo, can you come get me? Come get me. I'm in jail. Mind you, I didn't understand jail. I didn't know no bond me. You ain't getting out. They just said you can make a phone call. I'm thinking making a phone call. I can call somebody and come get me. Man, I called. Ain't nobody answer. I wouldn't answer either. The jail calling me. Told y'all. But anyway, we locked up or wherever, and mind you, it's a weekend. We can't go see a magistrate or judge. Like, I went to the magistrate. When I came in, they denied me bond, so I had to wait for the judge, which was on a Monday. I spent the whole weekend in jail. I'm only 18. Now, I wasn't locked up, right? This jail wasn't made for women. The women part was this small. And all the women was crazy. It was tweakers in there. I'm over here looking like, bitch, touch me. I'm going off. I'm going slam off. And I didn't understand jail. And I didn't understand why they cut my lights off. So I'm in the cell spazzing, smashing shit. I'm like, bruh. And it was like, if you keep distorting stuff, we gonna send you to the real jail where you got a bigger population. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. They was like, you know, we got some for you. So anyway, long story short, like I ended up chilling out because I had court that day, and I ended up seeing my boyfriend. And then he was like, yo, like they're gonna give you he was like, I'm gonna take the charges since I already got a rap or whatever, but I'm gonna take what I can, and we just gonna have to see what happens. So anyway, long story short, I told the judge, I was like, look, I went to court, right? I was like, look, Mr. Judge, sir. Oh, surprisingly, guess who was there at court? My mama. She finally figured out where I was at, because ain't nobody know where I was at. I was in jail. I was locked up. Called my mama like, yo, Miss Ma'am, I'm locked up. I left her hella voicemails too, with them free phone calls. So I guess she obviously like checked the voicemail, because you better be checking something. If you ain't hear from me in 4 days, and I ain't come home, then the boy daddy saying he ain't seen us or heard from us, you already know something happened. So anyway, I think his dad told my mom that it's not gonna tell me why he's in jail, but he's not sure. But my mom came and got and we had to do virtual court. Like, you know, like sometimes they don't let you come in the court room, they just do like over camera. I had to do it over camera. So I'm on the camera, I'm like, look, judge, this is my first time being in trouble, and I don't got much to say, but this is my first time. I just turned 18. Like I was being irresponsible. I was like, oh, honestly, judge, I don't want to be here. I need to go to see a doctor. I keep taking a test here, a pregnancy test, and it keeps saying positive. I don't know, my hormones out of whack. I don't know what's going on, but I was like, judge, I'm only 18. I'm not trying to be here. I need to know if I need to, what I need to do. Like, I don't know. So he was like, since it's your first time being in trouble, I'm gonna give you a PR bond, and I'm gonna let you go on your own personal recognizance. Now they denied my ex bond or whatever, but when I said pregnant, my mom looked like she was ready to have 5 effing penguins. Do you hear me? 5 penguins. She's like, I could see her mom. I'm like, oh my god, I'm about to die. I don't even think I'm with the bond no more, bro. But anyway, I got bonded out, and I was like, yo, my mom was like, are you serious right now? Like, you really might be. I'm like, I might be. But I ended up going to the doctor like as soon as I got out. It was like I got out like 6 o'clock that afternoon. My mom dropped me off at my grandma's house. She ain't say nothing to me, but she helped me set my doctor's appointment up, and I got my I ended up taking the test, and he was like, no, it's just your hormone levels out of whack. You gotta stop doing what you're doing. That was like the last time I did Xans. But yeah, that mess was crazy. Got shot at. It was hitting licks. I was a real Bonnie and Clyde. I was down for my nigga. He was down for me. And even though he didn't get bond, like we stayed together for like a good 3 to 4 years. And I don't know, we was like really close. It's just sometimes you outgrow things. And now I outgrew him quicker. But anyway, yeah, that's my story time about how I went to jail. My mom didn't really trip. She was just more so like tripping about the baby part. She was like, what the fuck? Might have going to the doctor. They told me I won't have a kid. And then she was like, you just gotta stay out of trouble and all that. And I'm just like, alright. But y'all know that when I went in here out the other college, I don't live on the UK roof. I did it. I'm grown. But yeah, they was shooting. I can't believe they tried to shoot me. And then what's crazy is it's another story time. Y'all gotta tune in for the next story time. But other than that, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn the post notification on. Hope you enjoyed that. That was my first time going to jail. I got my first time getting the charge. If y'all want to hear that story time, tune in for the next video. But bruh, Big Sexy out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I be out of pocket.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't ghetto Matthew, you feel me? Where you at, man? You know what I'm saying? Gang shit, we in Hollywood. Big Sexy Dance, we in this bitch. Yeah, you know it's your boy Shay Frost. Yes, sure. Big Sexy on the channel. Big Sexy Dance. Subscribe right now. She out here with us. Let's go. Hot in the bitch. What's your channel name? Big Sexy Dance. Wait. You say slave shit? Slave shit.